What is up everyone, my name is Abductual TKO Tom and welcome back to a brand new video. But boy, it's been a while. And the reason for that is I made a video like a good month ago and maybe less than a month now, but the day I made it I basically got tonsillitis. Obviously I didn't know that. I mentioned in the video like I've got a headache and stuff, and you know, before I knew it I would be on my deathbed. So I was out of action for a good 2 weeks, so the video just never got uploaded, and I went back and looked at it and it's just a trash video, to be honest. So I'm basically just going to update you a bit and go along with the video as planned. Basically, I'm just going to be trying to upload every other day. Daily would just be not unreasonable, it'd just be unlikely, it'd just be unnatural, it just wouldn't happen. So I'm going to try and upload every other day. As long as I've got those ideas and memories flowing, then we should be all good. So let's go straight on to today's video. Okay, so basically this is a redo commentary right here because for some reason I came back to this video to re-edit it again and it just deleted my commentary. So that's sick. Luckily it didn't delete a lot. This is, to be honest, not really an important part. So I basically went on and said that this takes place in year 7 at secondary school, and that's basically all you need to know. And we just come out, well, it was at maths class, and we're basically just coming out of maths class. But yeah, on with the video. So in this we will have David and we will have Pablo. Now, David and Pablo weren't really the most liked people in school. They weren't hated, they were just kind of in the neutral grounds, much like myself really. You know, just kind of did their thing and just didn't really get involved with anything. Had friends, of course, like, you know, we were just kind of friends with each other, we just didn't really mix with anything else. I mean, when you're in year 7, you're still kind of still adapting, you're still meeting new people and things. I feel like you don't really make your proper friends until probably the next year. So yeah, I mean, I was similar to Pablo and David really. You know, we just basically came from primary school as friends, and that's who you stick with. So yeah, David and Pablo, just pretty normal people. I guess you could say a few people might have disliked these people, really. They weren't bad people. But yeah, I'm sure someone disliked me at some point. So yeah. So here I am with Pablo and David just coming out of maths, and it's, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. We just probably walking out the door, probably talking about something, probably something stupid. I can't remember if we were really talking about much or like laughing about anything, but you know, we were just kind of walking out. It was the end of the day, everyone's just kind of excited to go home. So we walked through the door and we're about to head through the tunnel part, like I mentioned. And before I, you know, really can process it, this individual, who we will call Sideshow Bob, basically Sideshow Bob, to give a bit of backstory, is not the worst person. He's just, you know, he's a bit off the rails. You know, he's, you know, kind of the bad kid. He was one of the naughtier ones, kind of off the rails. You know, like to misbehave, but not really a bad person. So yeah, before I knew it, Sideshow Bob had come past me, gone straight for David, and grabbed David by the blazer, or you know, the school uniform basically. I don't know if he had a jacket on, but either way, I doubt it. He grabbed him by the front of his uniform, picked him up and slammed him straight up against this wall. And at this point I'm thinking, what the, like, actually what is going on? Like, I literally didn't know what to think. I didn't know if this was a joke. Like, literally, there was no, like, there was nothing behind this. Like, nothing had happened in this lesson. I was like, well, what do I do? Like, I thought it was a joke at first. Like, I think, you know, every serious situation, I always think it's a joke. I really don't know why. It's probably a bad thing, but I just always just straight away think, oh, he's just joking. But let me tell you, Sideshow Bob was not joking. Because after he pulled him up and just slammed him against the wall, I just see his fist swing back and go straight for the mouth. Sideshow Bob was not playing, and I have no idea why, but he just started raining them in on David's mouth. Like it was like the world freaking sucker punch contest. I could not believe my eyes. And then here we go straight back to Pablo. Pablo is basically pacing up and down this tunnel, just with his hands on his head. Looks like he was basically crying. And I'm thinking, Pablo, you're not helping. To be fair, I wasn't. I didn't know what to do. I was in some kind of psychotic state. I just didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know whether to get involved with this. And, well, to be honest, there was no chance I was getting involved with this. I was not going to put a hand in there because I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what David had done to Sideshow Bob. So I just stood there like the lost soul while Pablo is basically having a trauma attack, basically pacing up and down with his hands in his face. And I'm just stood there like a lost boy. Like I could not believe my eyes. You know, so David getting pummeled and Pablo's just in a crazy state. And then after a bit, it ends. That's that. Sideshow Bob walks off like he's the freaking man of the year. And David is left on the floor. I think he was on the floor. He must have been on the floor. With the biggest lips, the busted up lips. Blood was, it was there. It was present. And I was still just stood there like an absolute goon. I was probably asking Dave, yeah, you're right, David. Like, what the frick just happened? Like, it's like we were just in an episode of, I don't know, Super Melee Fighters. Like, what is happening? Like, Sideshow Bob just went absolutely in on your skull. Like, just give some backstories. And then, obviously, David is crying. This is year 7. We are not in the big leagues. Year 7, you're like 12 years old, you know. David is literally in a state, he's crying, and I think I might have like tried to get a teacher, and I just don't think I did. I don't know. And then, well, it's David's sister, Jolie Stromboli comes along, and she's basically crying now as well because she's seeing David, her own brother, just in an absolute mess from freaking Sideshow Bob's doing, and so she's calling both him and her mum. Just, you know, I don't know. Like, obviously, you want to tell your mum instantly, like you want that support, and it went crazy. And then at that point, I think a teacher did come by and just told us to leave. I was like, okay, it's a little disrespectful. Like we've literally just encountered an absolute mass murdering. But yeah, thanks for that, Chief. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the freaking premises now. So I left school that day, just not even knowing what happened after that. Sideshow Bob just left the scene anyway. I'm like, okay, great. But that's basically it. David never came back to school. He actually changed schools, which was actually really sad to see because, yeah, me and David were good friends. So, yeah, Sideshow Bob basically deleted David from the school. And that's about it. That's the story. I didn't think it'd be that long, but yeah, I mean, you got to go into detail. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and you know, David, if you're out there, like, can you give me some backstory? Because like, I still don't know what to this day what actually made Sideshow Bob just absolutely go Super Smash Bros on your skull. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want more. See ya.